I found this little wooden figure years ago at an estate sale in Connecticut. At first glance, the face made me pause and I thought it might be a racist caricature. Then I turned it over and saw it was made in the Soviet Union. That one line opened an entire world of history and for once, not a racist one. The Soviet Union, officially the Union of Soviet Socialist Republics, or USSR, existed from 1922 to 1991. It was a vast communist state made up of 15 republics including Russia, Ukraine, and Georgia in the Caucasus, formed after the Russian Revolution. For most of the 20th century, it stood as one of the world's two superpowers alongside the United States. During that time, the US and the USSR were locked in what's known as the Cold War, a long stretch of political tension from the end of World War II through the early 1990s. It wasn't fought on battlefields but through ideas, technology, and influence. Each side wanted to prove that its system, capitalism in the US or communism in the USSR, was superior. They competed in everything from nuclear weapons to space exploration and from art to culture. And that's where this little figure fits in. During the Cold War, the Soviet Union produced thousands of handcrafted toys and folk art pieces like this one, carved from wood and painted in bright reds, yellows, and greens. They were sold or gifted around the world. On the surface, they were just souvenirs, but they were also a form of soft power. The USSR used folk art to project an image of strength, creativity, and cultural pride. Now, about the dark painted face. In traditional Russian folk carving, darker tones were often used for contrast under glossy lacquer finishes. But by the 1960s and 70s, that color choice began taking on a new meaning. The Soviet Union had started supporting newly independent nations in Africa, the Caribbean, and Asia, places that were emerging from centuries of European colonization. Countries like Ghana, Nigeria, Kenya, Angola, Cuba, and Jamaica were forging new futures, and the USSR wanted to align itself with them politically and symbolically. Through art, education, and diplomacy, it promoted solidarity among the peoples of the world. Artisans began creating figurines that celebrated women of color as symbols of global unity and anti-colonial pride. So this little figure is both Russian folk art and part political statement. Her dark lacquered paint and confident posture tell a story bigger than any one country. Today, she stands as proof that even a small piece of wood can hold layers of meaning, history, ideology, craftsmanship, and connection. She's more than just a souvenir. She's Cold War diplomacy in miniature form, a carved, painted bridge between cultures at a time when the world was deeply divided.